Hey guys, hope you're well. Thanks again for checking out another Friday Focus where myself, Steve Gordon, takes you through the training week ahead, recap on my previous week's kettlebell training, and what I'm going to be doing to try and improve my performance going forward, which will then hopefully improve my results on the platform in competition. And also, you might be able to pick up some tips and tricks and hints from my training that you can start implementing into your own training. So, like I say, we're on week 6 now, so time flies when you're having fun. So yeah, let's jump straight in. So, last week was a really good week for me. I felt really strong. Like I say, I was really enjoying the program, so I'm still able to bounce off that and get some really good feedback and keep on driving. Um, as I'm starting to adapt to biathlon, there's obviously a few little things that start to become apparent. There's some certain areas that I need to improve on, which is great. Great things to obviously be aware of. But that being said, again, I'm really happy with the week I've had. So we jump in. Saturday was around about a 9. So in terms of RPE, so I was able to hit some really good solid jerk sets. I felt really strong, powerful. Technique felt solid, and yeah, it was really good. Backed that up the next day with a recovery run. So around about 50 to 60 minutes, just stayed focused, controlled. There was a bit of snow on the ground, but it was quite nice because it was nice and bright. Kept my heart rate on average was around about 147. So for me, that's sitting in the green zone, which was again really good. Really got a lot from that run. Felt really and my HRV, my recovery score, obviously using the Morpheus band, the feedback that I had the next day was you're ready, you're primed, rock and roll, just go and smash it, you know. So I jumped straight in, felt really good. Again, smashed all of my sets, felt really strong, and really enjoyed them. Um, and again, was able to hit at a rep range which was solid enough, and which is continually building on the goal that I've got for my next competition, and then back that up with a strong conditioning run. So I stayed in my conditioning zone in Morpheus. So I was running at around about 170 to 175 beats per minute for 35 minutes, and then I jumped into swing swing snatch. It was for 4 minutes with the 32s. It was. So, and I felt really good on that. Next day, my recovery score had dropped right down. Obviously, 2 heaviest days. HRV was down, so I dropped off. Just had a recovery day. Again, did very little. Just got moving, mobilised, just just got the blood pumping really. And then straight away, recovery score bounced straight back up. So just jumped on my sets, and yeah, again smashed through them. Yeah, and on Friday we had a 7. So again, a running a clean set. So felt really good. It's been a really strong week. I'm really happy with how it's felt. So I'm just going to keep on developing that. It's always nice when training's going well. But I think the biggest thing that's probably helped with that is the focus, the drive, the attitude towards training. There's been a slight shift for myself, and that hasn't come from major overhauls. It's just tiny little tweaks that we'll see on the next slide, but been having a massive impact, and they've been helping me stay focused on the training, focused on the goal, and everything seems to be sinking into place really nicely. Even still, this day here on day 4, that wasn't swing snatch. That one was a 5 minute clean set after that conditioning run with the 32s, and yeah, really solid set, strong set. Um, Heart rate was starting to creep up right towards the end, so it was starting to get towards like overload. Um, to my Morpheus band, so that was kind of telling me to back off a little bit. But overall, yeah, really happy with how things are going. So just gonna it's giving me more confidence and knowing that I can and keep bouncing from this, you know. So the major things that have helped me this week, as I was just saying earlier, was um, it's the little things that have made a massive difference. So managing my load and staying disciplined, that's obviously the name of the slide here. But generally speaking, that is what's helped me really maximize my training and has kept me on course for what I've been doing and obviously my goals. So the first 2 week block of my training is a high volume loading block. So the reason for that is it is a overload, caused me to overreach. It causing me to um, go above probably what I'm ready for. But the reason being is we're just causing an adaptation just to get me used to the biathlon training. Really overload that system and really overload the muscles that I'm going to be utilizing a lot during my jerk and snatch sets. So it's obviously understanding that okay, it's a high volume block. This is when I'm going to need to stay disciplined the most because this is where if I don't stay disciplined here, then how am I going to manage when I'm doing the higher intensity type stuff? And again, another high volume block. So when you're getting high volume, like a high volume loading block, it's really important to sort of track your heart rate, track the load, track your total reps in that session. All of the little things that are going to make a massive impact. Okay, so obviously for me, I've got a periodized nutrition plan from Simon. So SGT fitness coach. Obviously, he works alongside me very closely on my nutrition, and what we've done is we've changed my macro split and we've changed my caloric intake dependent on each day's sort of RPE levels. So again, just keeping it really simple, but what we do is on my like kind of 6 and below RPE days, it tends to be a little bit higher fat and higher protein intake. Then obviously on my 10 days, it's quite a higher carb intake, but there's a higher calorie intake on there as well. So we're generally looking at around about 300 calorie surplus of what my kind of maintenance calories are. And then on my 7 to 8, I'm kind of hitting my maintenance calories, and it's kind of an even split in terms of where my majority of my calories are coming from. So my protein, carbs, and fats. And that's working really, really well. Finding that actually, one, I've got more energy for training. Two, I'm recovering, rebounding really, really well. Um, Again, just the smaller details. I find that I'm making better food choices. I'm staying a little bit more disciplined. But also because I've got a set target to work towards, it's just sort of again keeping me focused and driving forward on exactly what I want to try and get out of my training cycles. And with that, it's constantly keeping me aware of the performance, the timing. When it's a 10, some of those days it's very difficult to sort of undereat your calories, which then slow your recovery down because of it. One, it's a high stress session. Um, for example, I had a 10 day yesterday. Really, really massive session that took so much out of me. I even discovered I had a new heart rate max. Um, According to Morpheus, it was that high of a session. We're talking kind of like over 200 odd reps in jerk with 24s, 32s, and 28s. So a lot of volume for me, especially coming from long cycle, you know. So that amount of repetitions overhead's massive volume for me at this moment in time. So I didn't really feel like I was ready to eat, but I knew that I had to get my calories in. And actually, I woke up the next day and felt great, loads of energy, feeling really, really good today. The rebound effect of just making sure that you've got enough nutrients in there to drive your recovery and help you get ready for the next training session is massive. So that's helped me massively there. And also, I've just really use the tools I've got available to like maximize my performance, you know. So it's kind of making sure that I'm tracking Morpheus every single day, staying rigid and disciplined with that. I'm tracking my calorie intake every single meal. Everything's getting put into there, tracking that, being really disciplined with that, but also journaling, reflecting on the sessions that I've had, um, doing my fact before every session, but with a bit more purpose and a bit more clarity and a bit more intent behind it. And these things are having a huge impact. And using stuff like the H3 plan, which is again just keeping me focused on each specific day. So again, if you've got tools available to yourself, so say if you have got MyFitnessPal and you're not really tracking your nutrients and stuff, and you're knowing that you're not quite as disciplined as you are, just try and get back on it. If you've got a heart rate monitor, um, jump on it and start tracking your average heart rate during sessions, just to make sure that you are maximizing your training program and your training loads. And if you everybody could have a notebook, make sure that you're reflecting on every single session. Make sure you're writing down what was good, what wasn't so good. Was it an easy session? All these little things make a huge difference. And what it's done for me is gave me confidence. Now, a confident athlete is one that'll always succeed and always strive to become better. So if somebody's full of confidence, we've all seen it with either football players and stuff. Generally, a confident striker will always score goals. Confidence is a massive, massive game whenever it comes to performing, whatever arena you're in. But doing these simple little things each time just gives you massive amounts of confidence, keeps you disciplined, so you get a really good snowball effect, and it just really just brings everything together nicely for it. So that would be my go-to for you guys. Obviously, I've been sort of really disciplined over these past few weeks, and massive, massive differences even in body composition. The body fat's reduced, and I'm sitting at 79 kilos, really lean, and I'm happy with that. So that'd be my advice to you guys. Whatever tools you've got available to yourself, try and maximize them. If that means spending $5.99 a month on a subscription for MyFitnessPal, or it means maybe spending 30, 40, 50 pound for a heart rate monitor to maximize your training. That investment in yourself is, in the long term, it's kind of, you're talking pennies, but the amount that you get back off that is huge. So don't look at them as like just extra expense. Look at them as an investment, because these are the things that are going to help you get your results that hopefully you want to try and get out of the sport. So, and then going in the week ahead, tomorrow, it will be a 10-day. So I will be trying to push hard and making sure I'm executing every single rep, making sure that I'm getting through my tempo circuits. Again, I know they're always difficult, so I know there'll be a 10, but I'm really excited to get stuck into those. Um, Sunday, always a recovery run. For me, it just seems to cap off the week really nicely. Like I've said in previous videos, I've got a dog that's a bit of a lunatic if she doesn't get out for longer runs and stuff like that. So it's important that I take her out. And yeah, like I say, I'll probably just run and nothing else. Monday, be straight back in. It'll be around about the 7 to 8 session, just to prime me ready for the next training load, which I'll be hitting 10. So you can see that I've got 3 10 sessions there this week. So again, this is because the volumes reduce a little bit. So what I'm doing is I'm making sure I'm getting another development day in the week. So because the volumes dropped, I'm going to capitalize on that super compensation phase. So basically, my body's used to doing high volume and lots of work. Now that volume's reduced at this point, I want to make sure that the intent and the intensity is there to match that as well. So again, that's my week ahead. But like I've always said, guys, this training week ahead might look completely different come next Friday, because like I said, all your training program's got to be really agile. Like water, it's got to move around. Things happen. slight niggles, HRVs off, might come down with sickness or whatever it may be. So your program's got to make sure that you're completely adaptable and you've got to work around what you've got going on. If you've got a night shift, then if your night shift is here, try not to give yourself a 10-day here. Try and give yourself the flexibility to say, well, actually, I know I've got a really long day there, or that's generally always the busiest night for me. Then try and shuffle things around in terms of your training, and hopefully your training programs flexible enough to allow you to adapt and change some of the sessions around, rather than just staying rigid and structured on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's my training days and stuff as well. Okay, so like I say, give that a go, guys. And like I say, any questions, just get in touch. And as always, guys, just keep calm, keep smashing the sets. I'm really loving the content that we've got. Two fantastic interviews today. Those will be getting put up on YouTube and in the Kettlebell community. So as always, guys, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the great content that's coming. Okay, we'll also be getting links posted in so you can head over straight to the Kettlebell community off the back of it as well. So any questions, guys, reach out. As always, it's a pleasure. Keep calm, smash it.